Hey everyone, welcome to another Home Tech. I'm Seth Johnson. Not joined this weekend by Jason Griffin. It seems that we're on a strange rotating schedule as of late, where sometimes I'm available and he's not. No. What's going on here is Jason went traveling and managed to book an Airbnb that did not have Wi-Fi. So long story short, we were trying to get schedules to line up. They didn't line up. So here I am. I'm going to try and run down a couple of the bigger points. A lot of stuff happened this week, so kind of wanted to still have a show, get something out there, and I'm going to try and run down those tonight. So hopefully we'll be able to pick back up next week and have a full show with Jason, full live show and everything with Jason next week. So let's get started. This week, a couple of the big stories that dropped. One of the more funny ones, I guess, is the ADT versus Harris trial that began in Delaware. CE Pro did some really fun reporting on this last week, and I thought it was a humorous read. So I'd encourage you to go check it out. This is a big trial that we talked about a while back. I want to say where ADT was suing Mike Harris, the former leader and founder of Zonoff, which is a home automation or now defunct, I guess, home automation platform developer. They were responsible for devices like the Staples Connect. All of a sudden, one day, the company decided to shut down. And then, like literally the same week, we had this, or the week after, we had Ring announced that they had hired basically everyone. And when they did that, one of Zonoff's big investors, ADT, kind of got upset because they weren't aware of some of the deals, I guess, maybe that Zonoff had made with with Ring. Who knows? This is all very strange, very legally mumbo jumbo stuff. Really don't want to get into it, but there's some interesting points in here. I think we can pull out of this conversation that they're having, or this lawsuit that they're having. One of the things I think is pretty big was that we found out that Ring had over 1,000 employees, and in court it was revealed that the company had 2016 revenues of $170 million. These guys are printing money, it seems, and they've only added since 2016. They've only added products, so good for them. They've made a very successful company out of what used to be called Doorbot. Used to be those little stranger looking doorbell. Right before they rebranded to Ring and announced a bunch of new product. They have since just taken off, and I believe I think we were one of the first shows here where we were talking to Jamie Zeninoff, and I think he announced on our show. I have to go back and look at the show number and see what that was, but he announced on the show that they were rebranding to Ring.com. And doing all, this major push and everything. So that I'll put a link to in our show notes. It's over at HomeTech.fm/180 for 180. And all of the links to the C Pro article and the links to our show will be on there. Let's move on here. Cover another one real quick. I thought this was a pretty cool story that came out this week. It's a little news story about Smart Things, or from Smart Things. But it's also about the NVIDIA Shield. And if you're not familiar with that product, I don't run across it very often. Normally on the show, we're talking here about Apple TVs. We're talking about Amazon Fire TVs. Of course, today, the Google TV thing, Chromecast dongles. But the NVIDIA Shield is a very impressive 4K HDR player and media box, essentially. And I run across it in techier people's homes and more of the advanced DIY people will have one, but I think this is a pretty cool product. Smart Things actually announced a little plug-in USB dongle that will plug into the NVIDIA Shield and make the Shield a Smart Things hub. So I think that's pretty cool. It's on sale right now, or on pre-order right now, for $14.99, and will ship later this year. I think at that point it goes up to $40, but hey, not a bad deal if you want to, if you already have an investment into a media player, an NVIDIA Shield, and you want to experiment with home automation. Smart Things is pretty good because this will have Z-Wave, Zigbee, and be able to get you integrated into that Smart Things ecosystem. So I'd check that out for $15. I would definitely check that out if I already had a Shield plugged in and running in my house. So let's move on to the Amazon event. This was kind of the big news this week, was that Amazon was going to be updating the Echo line. And I'm getting the bell ready because I'm going to be bleeping out of a bunch of the A words as we go through this, because I am sure to misfire and say them when I shouldn't. And because most every one of these devices run with Alexa enabled. So first up, there's an all-new Echo. They've kind of shortened the size of it, given it some better speakers, which they are saying powered by Dolby. So that it means they have really taken that criticism to heart, where the Amazon kind of sounds, the Echo is pretty notorious for sounding like garbage. But they have put in some better speakers. And hopefully that will give us some better audio. They've reduced the price. I think these things started off around $200. This is now $99. And it comes in multiple colors. Like a lot of these fabric colors, like charcoal gray fabric and kind of a light gray fabric. They're doing this to kind of get these devices to be better integrated into your home and fit in with your decor. We've seen a lot of that more recently. I'm thinking like the Google Home, where they had the ability to kind of swap out the covers that went on it, and the bottom part was kind of this mesh fabric looking stuff. This looks very similar, but they also ship this in like a stainless steel and some wood coverings like mahogany and oak. The mahogany looks like it's straight out of 1970. So if you haven't updated the house in a while, you have a lot of mahogany wood, that may be the one to get. Let's see. The next thing is they announced a new Echo Plus. Now, this thing looks just like the existing Echo, like the tall Echo speaker. It looked like they were going to release that one in a couple of different colors too. Stainless, white, and black, I believe is what I saw. This one's going to cost $149, which I think is about what the bigger Echo was costing these days. But what you're really pushing with this one is that the difference between the Echo and the Echo Plus is this has a smart home hub built in. And you can literally say, Alexa, discover my devices. It will go out and look for Zigbee controlled lights, locks, and outlets, and set those up automatically on your system. That's pretty cool, and I think huge for the home automation, home tech crowd here. That makes setting up one of these systems a lot easier. You don't have to go around and take pictures. Use a phone to take pictures of codes that are on the back, like with HomeKit. You just yell out into the air, and it supposedly goes out and starts setting up these devices and making them available to use. We'll be interested to see how that works moving forward, but having a hub built into the Echo is going to be huge for the companies that are working with them. Thought it was really interesting that it's Zigbee only. There is no mention of Z-Wave anywhere in the literature on their website or within the specs or the stories that I saw. In fact, I was reading on Reddit that a couple of people were kind of curious as why they didn't have any Z-Wave, because Z-Wave is, as you listeners know, that we talked about it here on the show, Z-Wave is one of the more popular DIY platforms, and there are a ton of Z-Wave devices out there on the market. So very interesting that Amazon went with Zigbee, and they'll be going with Zigbee for this direct integration. Now, of course, with both Echoes, you can use any of those Alexa skills with their products, and they will integrate with hubs and stuff that exist in the house. But the idea behind the Plus is that you don't need a hub. The hub is built into the Plus, and you get all the benefits of having an Echo, but with the addition of having Zigbee built in to talk to these devices. So I thought that was pretty cool. Kind of flying through these, but they have a new Fire TV that has 4K Ultra HD, so it has HDR built into it. This thing looks pretty cool. It's a little dongle like we're used to. It's kind of a strange square dongle that's kind of got the cord coming out of one of the points of the square, so it doesn't sit exactly the way you'd think a square device would sit. But the idea is this would plug in behind the TV and you wouldn't actually ever see it or notice it. It comes with the Alexa voice remote, so you can sit there and yell at the remote and quickly find things, and also could actually control anything that Alexa can do on your Echoes. You can actually yell into the Fire TV and have it do that as well. What's really interesting about this one is the price. It is $79, which is a full $100 below the price of a 4K Apple TV. And the Apple TV I think starts at 179 or 169, somewhere on there, and actually goes up. So this is very interesting. Another couple of interesting points this week, we saw Apple TV show up on the Amazon Marketplace and then promptly disappear. So something's going on there. We know Amazon Video is expected to show up on the Apple TV later this year, and I'm wondering if Amazon wanted to get these Fire TVs shipping and sold before they opened the floodgates and let Apple back in and started selling anybody else's media players on their website because they kicked Apple TVs off a long time ago when the Fire TV was first introduced. Now that Apple is kind of a partner, I suspect that you'll start seeing the Apple TV show back up on the Amazon website and being sold, which will be nice, I suppose. Good for Apple, I guess. I guess who cares about that? All right, so moving on, we've got one more device and then a couple of weird, quirky devices from Amazon. The Echo Spot was introduced. This is what everybody seems to be excited about. It's a $129 version of the Echo Show, I think is the name of it. Yeah, which is $229. That's the video screen Amazon thing that came out a couple of months back. That doesn't look all that great. The Echo Spot. This is what the show should have looked like. This thing looks pretty good, and it's designed to sit on like a nightstand or and a coffee end table, not be kind of the main video screen. I guess if you enjoy having those video phone calls using the Amazon Echo Show. This has a little camera in it. You can still make video phone calls. You can watch video from Amazon. I guess if you'd want to watch video from Amazon on a 2-inch screen. It has the ability to do everything that the other Echoes can do, play songs, all that kind of thing. It has built-in speakers, or you can connect it out with Bluetooth or a 3.5 millimeter stereo jack. I've got to mention, all of these products actually support multi-room audio now. So if you go to Amazon's website and watch the little video, one of the things they do, and it's kind of subtle, but they say, start playing this particular playlist in so-and-so's room. And you'll start hearing music. You'll start hearing music come out of there. So very interesting that Amazon has moved into this, or backed into this multi-room audio ecosystem with these products. Here we are, kind of still looking around and wondering where that Sonos, voice-controlled Sonos, is going to be when that thing's going to come out. There was a leaked photo that I saw kind of float by on Twitter of what that would look like, but we haven't seen it ship. So it kind of looked like a Play One with the little microphone things on top of it, kind of like what you'd expect it to look like. Hopefully, we'll see that come out soon. And hopefully we'll see integration with the Amazon Alexa services and Sonos moving forward. It'd be kind of nice to see that. Back to the Echo Spot. I think this is a much better version of the Echo Show. I'd highly recommend this over getting one of those Echo Shows. That thing looks awful. They've got this designed to kind of fit just about any room in the house that you'd want it to fit in, and just kind of be low key and out of the way. I might grab one of these, for my desk here, just because it has this really cool looking clock thing that you can put on it. I can yell at it and maybe talk inside the house and that kind of thing. I don't know. $129. It's more than an impulse buy for one of those things, but may not be a bad purchase at all. Moving on, a couple other interesting products that they had here. The Amazon button, the Echo button. These are Bluetooth buttons that pair with your Echo device for controlling devices, maybe for the home automation system, or gaming is kind of one of the things that they announced there, where you can play trivia games and you can have little buzzers to kind of like beep in, and see whoever beeps in first, the little button would light up. They look interesting. It's $20 for a 2-pack of them, and they'll be all this will be available later this year. I saw some of this stuff's like end of October. Some of it moves into December, but all of it will come out before the end of the year, just in time for the holidays and gift giving. So keep these in mind. These buttons. I know one co-host who might be getting some for in their stocking. And moving on to the last product, the Echo Connect. This is by far my favorite product, just because it is so weird. The Echo Connect is a small device that you plug into a landline, and it converts your landline basically into a speakerphone for your Echoes. So you can yell at your Echo, Alexa, call so-and-so, and it will go through your landline and call that person. They have a cute little video set up with this thing, and it works exactly like you think it would. All the audio from your landline phone comes out of the Amazon Echo, if you plug that into a phone jack. But it's such a strange little product, and a quirky little product, and really brings in voice, the idea of using your voice to talk to different people. Like they already have the intercom stuff built in, where you can intercom back and forth between different Echoes. But this kind of like integrates it with phones in kind of the most strangest way possible. But also easiest and, of course, inexpensive way. This thing is $35 and will be available on pre-order next year. I think it's a pretty cool product. If I had a landline, I would probably order this thing and see what it would do. But I'm a cord cutter. I don't have a landline. Everything goes through cell phones these days, and that's the way it runs. So all in all, I think if you have Amazon Echo in your house and you are looking to upgrade it, or you've been on the fence, I think this is a great time to buy. I mean, the new Echo is $99. It's significantly down from what it used to cost to get involved in this platform, in this market, and I think it's a good thing. This is starting to be. It's not strictly a home automation platform, but it's starting to be a decent one to that most every product wants to work with. But it also does other things like keep up with your shopping list and all that good stuff. And I think it's trying to be many things. It's not. We in this industry get so caught up on Amazon Echo being for home automation. But you know what? Amazon is clearly not thinking only about home automation when they're putting these products together. They're doing voice dialing. They're doing all these music services. They've got a bigger picture planned. And this is just one of those pieces of technology that just lives in your house and does what it's supposed to do. And for the most part, does it pretty well. The only complaint I have ever had about Amazon is that sometimes they lose connection at 4:00 in the morning and wake you up. But I guess if that's the only complaint I have about it, it's doing pretty good. So anyway, like I said, we'll come back to all this next week and talk it over with Jason. If you want to check out any of the things I talked about tonight, all that will be linked over at HomeTech.fm/180 at the show notes. And of course, you'll find there also links to give us feedback here at HomeTech.fm. And there's also the Patreon page where you can go in and support the show for as little as $1 a month. We want to thank everybody who supports the show. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. If you do support the show, you get access to our Slack channel. We'll send you an invite to the Slack channel, and you'll get in there. There's all sorts of conversations that happen in our Slack channel, the hub. When you're in there, there's pictures flying by. There's all sorts of discussion on home tech business, home tech technology in general. If you have a question, just ask it. There are plenty of experts there that can answer it. So thanks very much, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.